What's up, people? This right here is for renters, okay, in Minnesota. And the law from 2024 got stronger for tenants' rights, okay? This is a lease. Under this contract right here, it says my rent is $9.55 a month, okay? Not $9.85, not $996, okay? It says $9.55 a month. All of my receipts, rent's always been paid on time and everything else, all right? In Minnesota, it states specifically in the laws, the only way a conviction can be, a property management or landlord can start eviction if rent, not utility bills, not water bill, not electric bill, that is not rent. Not for your garage, that is not rent. Rent is the place where you sleep, okay? That's rent. The environment where you sleep at, where you cook at, where you go to the bathroom at, that's rent for that establishment. That's rent for that dwelling. Dwelling is rent. When you pay for dwelling, that's rent. Not a garage, not renter's insurance. That has nothing to do with rent. And the courts made that very, very clear in the state of Minnesota. For them to start any kind of eviction or even talk about eviction, you have to be 30 days late on your rent. They have to send you first 14-day notice to pay now or whatever. All right. Then the procedures of eviction starts, period. Electric bill, water bill, garage bill has nothing to do with your dwelling, your rent. This is a contract. Your lease is a contract. Your lease is a contract. There's no ifs and no buts. I don't care what you sign, whatever. Your rent says $9.55 a month. That's what your rent is, $9.55 a month, period. Not the garage, not electrical, not water. That's it. And in Minnesota, they got very, very strong about it too. The new laws allows tenants to create and organize against their living conditions, to fight for their living conditions, okay? It also prohibits landlords from retaliation against anyone. It says it prohibits landlords from retaliation against anyone in a tenancy, anyone. That's Minnesota law. 2024, the new Minnesota tenants law takes effect 2025, nationwide. Well, in Minnesota, the state of Minnesota. All right. Then, that's the funny thing. I get so upset so quick, man, you know? I get really upset so quick. Retaliation. Landlords cannot retaliate against tenants for expressing their rights as a tenant to report code violations or to seek repairs. Cannot retaliate against you. Cannot retaliate when you ask for copies of, now this is the funny thing, when you ask copies of the utility bills, the original utility bills, and that has to go back 2 years prior to see what they were, who was paying it, how much that the prior renters was paying on utility bills. They have to provide that to you. It's plain and simple. There's no ifs and no buts. And if they do not provide that, that's $1,000 for each violation. Right there, tenants' rights, Minnesota. $1,000 for each violation if the landlord or property management refuses to provide that information to the tenant. $1,000 violation for each violation, okay? The only way a landlord or property management can start an eviction is if the rent is past due. Rent. Electric bill, water bill has nothing to do with rent, period. Utility bills have nothing to do with rent. Rent has nothing to do with utility bills, because you cannot tell IRS that you're renting in a garage and you get a tax refund on that. That doesn't happen. That I even looked it up. The IRS will not give you a tax refund, credit refund, if you rent in a garage or if you're paying insurance of renter's insurance. And like they said, that is not a law. I don't care what the courts say. That is your right. They cannot force you to have renter's insurance whatsoever. In no state, they cannot force you to have renter's insurance, because that does not help you whatsoever. That helps them, not you. That is your loss, okay? Utility bills have to be separated from rent in Minnesota. Oh, yes. Utility bills cannot be towards any rent whatsoever. Well, you can't see it, but utility bills cannot be towards any rent whatsoever, because that is a separate thing. Utility bills and paying rent for your dwelling is totally different. To start an eviction, you have to be 30 days late on your rent. Okay? You have to be 30 days late on your rent. Period. They got to give you a 14-day notice, pay up. Then after that 14-day notice, you don't pay. Then comes the eviction processes. They can't start shit. So I was getting so upset yesterday about what they put on my door, and they could have knocked yesterday. Excuse me. They could have, excuse me, I got to throw up. Excuse me. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Oh. They could have did that, right? So they got on their rent. No, my rent's always been paid. You can't do no eviction notice, no nothing, because I didn't give you all of the money for your utility bills. You can't do shit. My electric bill is getting paid. That gets paid, you know. And this is the funny thing. I've been asking and asking, you know, well, you got to send me something about this water bill. And it states here in Minnesota law, under Minnesota law, it states that under Minnesota law, it states that for 2024, and then it even made it better for 2025, under Minnesota law, under utilities, okay? The renter is not responsible for sewage under Minnesota law. Under Minnesota law, it states that the tenants are not responsible for sewage. The ones that are responsible for sewage is the property owners, the owner of the property, or the property management, not the tenants. So they've been charging me $30 to $40 for sewage. I'm like, wait a minute. And it says here, landlords cannot overcharge payments on utilities to tenants. They cannot. See, I'm not no attorney or nothing, but I'm reading what the law says in this thing here. And they have to make a payment plan. They cannot come up with all of this bullshit on these invoices and stuff that they make up. You see, and yes, the IRS let them get away with this shit. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. If the IRS start investigating places like this, man, you know what would happen? They'd be shut the fuck down. People will be going without paying their rent for months. Because that's how corrupt this motherfucking place is, man. You know, rent is rent for the dwelling. Utilities, your garage, and insurance has nothing to do with your rent whatsoever. On your contract, the rent says your rent is $9.55 a month. That's what you pay, $9.55 a month. Period. That's your rent, $9.55 a month. You know, and really, to be honest, they'll be saying, damn, man, he's been paying too much. You owe him money. You see, because there's nothing in the Constitution. And ever since the overturn of a lot of shit in the United States Superior Court, a lot of these corporations and companies, you got the right to fight back against now. Okay? People don't understand the power that they have now. And you got to take that and start fighting back against this corruption and shit, you know, against rent so high and every fucking thing else, about your repairs and everything else, you know. And it's so ironic how there's so many cases out there about, you know, and rulings where attorneys don't have the right to open their mouths in court because they're either a defendant or a witness. Period. They got to get on that witness stand. Period. You know, there's so many cases about that, you know, and there's so many cases against administrative judges, you know, where the states got tired of bailing them out from lawsuits and everything else, man. You know, there's so many cases about that right now. And these courts got to wake up and follow the laws with the states. So I said, yes, I don't give a fuck she filed that. I don't give a fuck. I know what my rent is. I have never once violated my contract. Never once violated my contract. See, they have violated not only my contract, but also violated my home. And yes, somebody asked me a question. Yes, Gold Market Property Management owns the property, okay? And Deer Park manages the property. Gold Market hired them. Gold Market is responsible for the actions that they did. They're responsible for the actions that they did. And the person that violated the Constitution is responsible. No ifs and no buts, man. No ifs and no buts, you know? And it states right there that we have the right to privacy. For you to come in my residence, you got to give me a 24-hour notice. You don't tell the police to search my residence and stuff like that. Violation of my privacy, my Fourth Amendment, my Fifth Amendment, the works. And then they find out, well, nah, she lied, man. We didn't search your place, you know. Sent the letter to the police chief. Why did you have my residence searched? Under what grounds? What crime was ever committed? You know, nobody can say nothing, you know. This comes from the police chief of Hutchinson, Minnesota. What such and such said to you, sir, is a lie. But he didn't put it like that. He put what such and such said to you, sir, at Deer Park Management is untrue. No officers searched your residence whatsoever while you was gone. No officers did. Okay? So apparently they're blaming stuff on officers so they can throw the responsibility off of themselves onto the police department. That right there should put warnings to these people. But yet, she's on notice with these people because a lot of people filed complaints against her. And that's the ironic thing about the whole situation. And now they're doing all of this. Hold on. Hello? Speaking. Are you serious? Yeah. But it has to be next Wednesday. Yes, sir. Sure, go ahead. What's the question? Yes, I did. Yes. Well, if you saw the video, you see what was said. I'm going to come after you what the law says and the Constitution, the right says I have a right to do. Yes, sir. I know that. I know that. Yeah. No, I'm not. What made me look into the laws is when I was going through my divorce, and the things that I know now, I wish I would have known then, because I could have froze everything where, the judge would have to order her to put everything back into the accounts completely, but the judge didn't. The judge let her take every fucking thing out of the bank accounts. Yes. I don't remember her name. Sibling County. Yes, it is true. I got stuck on January 3rd. I was supposed to be in court at 1 o'clock, 1:30, but I got stuck. I left early because it was snowing real bad. That was that big snowstorm. And it got hit real bad in Gibbons, because I was in Gibbons, Minnesota. And so I'm driving, and I did whatever you call that when the car spins out of control. Yeah. On Highway 19. I left at 8 o'clock, and I still didn't make it. Yes, I still have those recordings too. Yes, I do. Where the clerk was calling my phone. My battery went dead, and I didn't have my charger in the car. My battery went dead, and they leaving messages on the phone, like I'm picking up the phone and all of this stuff. Yes. Yes, it was 2 people. Yes, they left a message and stuff, acting like I picked the phone up, but it went straight to recording. Yes, sir. No. I've never saw that judge before in my life. The judge they brought from, I don't know, some other county or something, but I never saw that judge before in my life. And yes, they did. They ruled against my motion that I filed without me being in court. And yes, he did commit perjury on a legal document, a court sealed document. Yes, he did. No, he refused to give me a court date to reschedule because, yeah, you see that. Thank you. There was all court stopped that day on January 3rd, 2023. All court procedures because it snowed so bad, I know a couple of attorneys that had to cancel trials because of that, murder trials and stuff like that. And yes, he did. Yes, refused because she said, well, he refused to give a new court date. I knew I had that constitutional right, but they didn't care. Yeah. Come on, man. You know how it is. Come on, man. Because I look black and she's Korean and she's from Minnesota and I'm not. I don't know nobody in Minnesota. Well, the only ones I know in Minnesota, well, I don't know them, but the only nicest people I ever met in Minnesota is me and my doctor. We argue all the time. That's about it. Oh, and the nurse that comes and helps me, and my bandages and stuff, and the other lady that comes and cleans the place up for me. Yes, sir. Yes, they are. Oh, yes. Well, I don't know Minnesota at all. So if you could send me the address, and I'll ask, when I see my neighbor, I'll ask my neighbor to put it in my phone so I can get there. Because I'm not too keen with telephones. You know, I'm an old-fashioned guy. You know, no, I went and bought a new phone because I still got my flip phones. Yes, my old flip phones. Since 1989, it's been my phone number. Same phone number since 1989. I even still got the voice messages that my two sisters left me before they passed away. Yes. Wow, you did a thorough investigation. Yeah, I am. I'm not worried about it because rent's always paid. You know, utility bills and water bill has nothing to do with the rent whatsoever. You know, that's completely separate whatsoever. But yes, yeah, just send me the address and uh when. No, because they come on Tuesdays. The nurse comes on Tuesdays, and the cleaning people come on Tuesdays. Yeah, they help me. Yeah, Wednesday will be okay. All right. Go ahead. Yes, the judge did let her just. I know the judge had the power to make her return every penny. Yes, it was about that was left was $1.45, I believe. Yes, it's all in the records right there. Yes, that was the reason why I filed for the divorce. I didn't know that until come on, man. Come on. Look, no disrespect to you, man, but you and I both know you a man, I'm a man. You and us know that when you bust your woman for cheating, your wife or girlfriend, the first thing they do, they run and put bogus restraining orders out. You never hit your wife in your life or your whole marriage or whatever, and that's what the courts do. So yes, they're responsible for the damage. Yes, they are. The courts, the judges, the ones that signed the restraining orders, yes, they are responsible for the damages that they have done on me. We know that, man. Come on, man. We look. This is the problem with the court system. First of all, if you're a white person that has money, okay, you got a way to have attorneys to fight for your side, but the poor people don't. You see, and that's the big thing there. And if you black in Minnesota or Mexican in Minnesota or any other race, as long as you're not white in Minnesota, then you're fucked. And you know that, and I know that. Like I can tell by your voice, you drink that heavy alcohol. You I figured that. Yeah, I can tell it. But anyway, yes. Come on, man. You know how the system is. You've been working with the system for how many years? How many years have you been investigating people like that? Oh yeah. Now you have to make that clear though. My rent is $9.55 a month. That has nothing to do with utility bills. Right, right. Yes, sir. Interest of justice. You seen that? Yeah. The video spoke for itself, and she didn't even know. They didn't even know. No, I don't think anything happened to those deputies. You know, because I used to help her with her makeup, and I I know a fake picture when I see one. Yeah, yeah. Well, nowadays you can use a computer system now to remove something off of a picture and put something else back there. You can also put different objects there, you can remove it. They have a system now, a program where you can do that. Yes, they do. That's the bad part. You could download it from any website where you can remove something off of a picture and put a different object there. You can also put a different person there too, which is outrageous, you know. Come on, you work for the government. Come on, man. Come on, you know this. Yeah. All right. There's the only phone number. It's been my number since 1989. Same phone number since 1989. Okay. All right. See you Wednesday. Yeah, just send me the address and I'll ask my neighbor to put it in my phone. Because I don't know how to do all of that there. No. It's like it's like I can't see it because it's so small. So I asked my neighbor to help me do that when I see them. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Whoa. Sorry for that. So your dwelling is where you pay your rent. Not utility bills, has nothing to do with rent. Renter's insurance has nothing to do with rent. None of that. Point blank. Okay. So when she sent me that bill, I was really upset. Yes, I'm like, come on, man. Serious, dude? My rent has always been paid. Never been late. You know, what the fuck you talking about, you know? And this is how Gold Market Property Management of Deer Park Management that runs it for Gold Market Property, this is how corrupt they are, dude. This is how fucking corrupt they are, man. But back to the water bill. So the law says that I got a right to request this, and they have to give me the past 2 years, and they also have to give me what the previous tenants were paying. You see? That's what they have to give us. All right? No ifs and no buts. They have to give this to you, you know? And so they violated that. For each violation, that's $1,000, they say. That's what the law says that the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota put down on these motherfuckers, man, because they got tired. Because I guess some of the courts, the right courts, was looking like, wait a minute, how much is your rent? $9.55. It's never been late. No. When did you stop letting them get into your bank account? When they stole all the money. They literally stole all the money, and the bank made them put it back, because there was identity theft, bank fraud that they caused my account. Okay? And I did the report at the bank, and they investigated. Says, yes, there's nothing in here. They went over everything for the month that the rent was paid. Yes, $996 was paid. $996 was paid. $996 was paid. $996. Wait a minute. And he took out $1,040-something and change. So the bank investigated it and found out, yes, they committed identity theft on me and bank fraud on my account. And so they sent the wire to them stating, if this money is not back by this time, this day, then we'll proceed charges against this company of identity theft and bank fraud with Wells Fargo. That's what Wells Fargo did. And boy, they put it back, you know. And then I went, got a cashier's check that cost me $10 to pay the rent, and I took them completely out of my bank information. The bank helped me too, and the statement was because they went into my account and they defrauded they identity theft and defrauded my bank account by taking money out that they had no right to take out. That was the whole statement right there. Then it was sent off. They were notified. And within days, man, they said, nah, you put this money back. Right now, we're charging this company that works for Gold Market Property and Deer Park Management. We're charging all of y'all for identity theft, bank fraud, and whatever. They was going after them hard too. So they put the money back. Then that's when I went and I said, well, I need a money order to pay that rent that day, because they had no right to do that. whatsoever, and that's their fault, not mine. You don't rob me and think I'm just gonna leave it like that. No, fuck that. Then I paid the rent with a cashier's check that cost me $10. Because now if you get a cashier's check, it costs you $10. So now I got the right to give them a bill for the cashier's check for $10. They owe me all of those. They owe me $10. They owe me about $600 and change for the cashier's checks that I had to get and the money orders that I had to get. So they owe me about $3,700 for the money orders and the cashier's checks. That's what they owe me. Because I refuse to have them have any access to my bank account. I refuse to let that happen. They ripped me off once. Well, back to Minnesota. Minnesota law says it's perfectly clear. Utilities are separated from rent. Rent is for a dwelling. Utilities have nothing to do with your rent. That is separate, and it has to be a separate bill. They cannot combine your rent and utility bills together. That's the laws in Minnesota. That's the law. That's what it says in landlord tenants rights. See, that's what it says in landlord tenants rights. And it specifically is very, very strong about retaliation. You see, very, very strong about retaliation. And it's very, very strong about when they walk into your residence. And they're very strong, about a lot of shit against landlords, man. But I had to say that though. And I got upset. I get upset easy, but when I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. My rent is only $9.55 a month, and that's what's been paid, $9.55 a month. All of that other shit cannot be in no eviction notice whatsoever. And none. And it's crazy how they commit extortion and all that stuff, man. It's insane. Hold on for a minute. I gotta use the bathroom. So somebody asked me before about retaliation. I said, okay, this is what happened. When I asked for this information, all repairs were stopped. Okay. And so I had to put the thing in the escrow, and they did the repairs really fast because they saw the letter that, hey, wait a minute. The attorney's like, wait a minute. I just lied to the judge, man. Wait a minute. Y'all made me lie to the judge, How the hell am I going to explain this? I'm glad that you got 14 days to do this, but you made me lie to the judge, man. But they did the repairs, man. They fixed the sink, and they did the repair guys are really nice, man. They did the repairs. They fixed the sink. They fixed the tub. The repair guys are really nice, really nice. They did that. Let me see. Went to court that day. They did it the following day. They did the repairs in the sink, and had to wait a week for the parts for the bathroom, which was cool. I didn't mind that, All I wanted was the repairs done. But don't retaliate against me because I asked for this and you stop all repairs, man. I mean, that's fucking insane, dude. And that's how the retaliation started. I asked for something and got all of this bullshit, And it's insane. It's funny how we ask for a quiet place, and it says you got a right. Unreasonable search and seize. you know, our home, our cars, our property and stuff, you know. And we got the right to peace and quiet and a safe environment, you know. And that's all I wanted, you know. I don't fuck with nobody, stay to myself. I don't drink, don't mess with drugs, never did, never will. I think a person is a coward if you got to mess with drugs, man. You know, none of that stuff, you know. I'm a loving person, man. But when you try to play me, that's what pisses me off, you know. And I'm a Libra, and I see a lot of shit before it's even done, man, you know. And it's like, come on, man. I'm a balance of, I'm the scale of balance, dude. I know bullshit when I see bullshit, you know. But when you see, this is what I don't understand. How can a Spanish person be so racist against anyone? That's the part I really don't understand, man. You know, that's the part I really do not understand. Is how can a Spanish person be so racist and hateful towards another human being? It's amazing, man. It's amazing. It's just like somebody asked me the other day, man, is it true? What's that? That Trump ain't got no power? I said, yes. The Constitution does not give the president powers to do any damn thing. Congress is the ones that has the powers. Congress is the ones that can arrest Trump. Matter of fact, the military can lock Trump's ass up right now for all of the crimes he has committed against humanity, human rights, violation of the Constitution, violation of his oath. They could be taking him into custody right now. You know, nobody is powerful on the face of this earth. Look, if you breathe, you bleed, you can die. Period. There's no such thing, but Allah God is the powerfulest thing in the universe, in Mother Earth, you know? And they come up with all of this bullshit with no scientific evidence about climate change and everything else. It's all a scam. All of this shit is a scam, man. Every law that they pass is a scam to get money, you know? And people just don't want to wake the hell up, man. You can't find out one fucking piece of evidence, scientific piece of evidence of climate change. This earth's been here way before we have, you know? Even when they talk about dinosaurs, that's all a myth. All of that shit about dinosaurs is a myth. It's a made-up myth, you know? Just like the pictures that they got from the past is not even really there. But people don't understand this. People go by what these idiots tell them. Okay? This is not their country. This country, this so-called America belongs to the blacks, the Indians, and Spanish, period. The Mexico president has the right to take back all the United States, because all of this country, all the way up to Canada, was all black, Spanish, and Indian country. That's what it was. She got the Mexico president got the right to take this country back. Take it all back. Kick them all, send them all back to Europe where they from. See? And they hate what these racist people hate more than anything in the world is when you get the knowledge, when you start fighting back. They don't like that. You see, they don't like that shit at all, you know. And I reported, and I'm not afraid to say it. Yes, I reported the judges. They got kickbacks off of the bond. You see, they getting kickbacks off of the tort bond. All right, they getting kickbacks off of that every month. Are they reporting that to the IRS? No, they're not reporting that to the IRS. Is the prosecutor reporting that to the IRS of his kickbacks? No, they're not reporting that to the IRS. Are the judges? No. Are the public defenders? No. You see, none of those motherfuckers is reporting to the IRS that they illegally opened up a bond account with my name, okay, getting interest off the bond. The bit bond is being paid to them. The interest is being paid to them every month. So I reported that. I reported that to the IRS. I even sent them copies of the papers that they gave me. And guess what? On my papers, you know what it says? Under duress. Under duress. Under duress. Under duress. You see? And it's funny how these idiots, so much hate because I said, quote and unquote, I'm coming after you with the law and the Constitution gives me the right to come after you with. I'm coming after you with the law and the Constitution says I got the right to do to you. I got the right to sue you. I'm coming after you with the law and the Constitution says I got a right to do. You see? And they twist all of that around. Okay? They twist all that around. And then the same person keeps calling and calling and calling and calling, and nobody's getting the picture here, you know, because they're stupid. But yet these are the same idiots that is destroying people's lives. You see? Like, an old friend of mine contacted me. What's today? The other day, a couple of days, about 5 days ago. An old associate contacted me about 5 days ago, man. And damn, that boy got 6 kids, man. He is lucky, man. I don't got no kids. I wish I did. I wish I did have kids, man, because I'm the last one. I wish I did have kids. But anyway, he contacted me, man. He said, man, you know the old days. And we started talking. He says, yeah, man, I'm sorry that you went through all of that, man, because you're a nice person on the face of the earth. I know, man. I appreciate that, man. You know? And he goes, remember the old days? I said, hell yeah. Anytime a man disrespects another man by talking or trying to date his wife, and that wife allows that, they both in violation. They both supposed to be taken out, dropped in the fucking Hudson River, man. You know, straight out in the Hudson River. But I'm not my old self no more, man. You know, I'm not my old self like I used to be, man. You call me a nigga, man. You got your ass whipped in the old days, man. That ain't no bottom line, man. You either almost got killed, you know, and I'm not like that no more, man. Because this is me, you know. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, point blank, you know. If a woman goes by what another guy tells them and they're married and they cheat, they was never yours from the beginning. They was never honest. They was never loyal. They are failures. And that's the God honest truth, man. You know? And we was talking a lot, man. He said, man, she is so lucky, man. And that punk too, man. I said, yeah, man. You see, I can still do whatever I want to do to them. But for what? For what? I want your ass in court. I want every fucking thing that you got. You know? I want your car. I want your house. I want your bank accounts. You know? I want every fucking thing you got. You know? The shit that you put me through, the pain, the misery, the hurt, the retaliation, the hate, you know, the lies, you know. And so he goes, yeah, we grew up together, man, and I've never seen you hit I don't hit women, man. I am a man. I'm not a guy. There's a big difference, you know. And I told him, I said, yeah, she got mad every time I opened the door for her. Pull a chair out when we went out. You know, she got mad about that, helping her with her coat on. She got mad about that shit, you know. She literally got pissed off, you know, about that, you know. But I knew she was cheating, you know. I was gathering all the evidence and stuff, and I got it, you know. And then my homeboy, she's taking pictures. Well, she was doing tickets because she's a parking enforcement, right? And she was doing tickets, and she happened to see my wife walking, holding hands and kissing somebody. So she immediately called me. She said, man, how's you and Margaret doing? Mimi. We're all right. Why? I'm about to send you something. I said, okay. So she sent me it. And I'm like, yeah, I know she's been cheating since 2019, you know, when she went to Seoul, Korea, you know. I knew she was cheating, you know. Got her copies of her text messages and all of that shit, and giving out my money to this guy and stuff, which in violation, because that right there is extortion and fraud. Anytime you have a joint account and that person is benefited off of that joint account to help some guy. That's fraud. Giving your money to this person, that's fraud. That's fraud. There's so many marriage cases, divorces about that. That's fraud. And judges have ruled on that too. That's fraud. You know, you have no right to give this man's money to this guy, try to make this guy better and use this guy's information. Like, I give you an example. I told the courts they was using my social security number and my information, all right? And I've been getting calls from people where I've never put an application in for no $5,000 loan or $50,000 loan. None of that shit. Never did that whatsoever. Never did that. Well, this is your name. This is your phone number they got on the app. I never done that. That's identity theft. I never done that. Well, who knows your social security? My ex-wife knows my social security number by heart. She signs my name. I've witnessed that plenty of times, you know, though I've never put application in for a $50,000 loan. Never did that. Never did a $100,000 loan. Never did that. So you need to go after the people that got that loan, because I didn't, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know. And then oh man, I don't know what's going on, but this guy called me, and the other person on the phone with them was asking me questions too. And I think something's about to happen to these motherfuckers, man, real soon, you know. And I hope it does. I hope every one of them get locked the fuck up, man. Judges can get locked up right off the bat, right on the bench. Police, cops, sheriff, deputies can get locked up too, you know, for their crimes. You know, there's no more. People are not tolerating this shit from these judges and these prosecutors. No fucking more. Prosecutors can get locked up too, man, for fraud, perjury, false charges, false arrest, kidnap. You know, prosecutors can get locked up too, you know, and that's the bottom line, man. People need to start waking the fuck up and look up the laws, man. You know, look up the laws what protects you, you know. Look up your renter's rights, man. You see, my rent is $9.55 a month. Never been late on my rent. Never. Under no circumstance. Never been late on my rent. And I got the proof where they took out $1,040-something and change. Went to the bank. That's bank fraud that they did on my account and identity theft. They investigated it. They contacted these individuals. You either put it back now or we're charging you. Charge it all for you. Gold market property for identity theft, bank fraud, Deer Park management, identity theft, bank fraud, and the company, you know. And when the investigation, the fraud department of the bank sent them the emails, man, they, put this man's money fucking back, man. Put it fucking back. And they put it back, you know. They put it back quick because they said, fuck this. We don't want this bank to come after us, man. Fuck this. And so then they sent me copies of this, man, what they said to them and everything else. They sent me all copies because I got a right to get that, right? And so the bank was apology about it and everything and stuff. And they go, yeah, no problem. You know, this was our fault to let that happen. And now we're protecting your account even more. For anything that happened to my account, you can't call to change nothing. You can't do shit. You got to go down there with my ID, with me, period. They see me face to face. That's the only fucking way anything on my bank account happens. The only fucking way. And so then, that's another thing. When I went to the Social Security office and they said, well, don't you got a online my Social Security? I said, no, I don't. I don't have online Social Security. But somebody's been trying to do an online Social Security with my number. I told Social Security office. I told the IRS, somebody is using my Social Security numbers. And they asked me who would use it. Everything points to my ex-wife. She knows my Social Security number. She gave my Social Security number to her friend. Everything points to them. But I forgot because she Korean and she white, nothing can happen to them. And that's what goes on in Minnesota. See, these people can lie on you. And they lie good. They even print up false invoices, you see. When the law says on the tenant's rights, landlord tenant's rights, tenants are not responsible. Tenants are not responsible for sewage. The property management, the owner or landlord and property management is responsible for sewage, not tenants. Not tenants whatsoever. Whatsoever. And they charge me totally different, and I'm here by myself. That's what's so funny. So then when I first moved here, they charged me $12 and change for water or something. I paid 3 of the water bills already, 4 of the water bills it was. And after I kept asking for this, I said, fuck you, man. Fuck you. If you can't give me what I'm asking for, fuck you. If you're going to retaliate against me, fuck you. I see you in federal court, man. Fuck this shit, man. Then they put that letter on my door yesterday. I was sitting right here taking my medicine. And they put that on my door. They could have knocked. Yeah, they could have knocked, you know, because I called the number and I didn't realize it was Saturday. The 3rd was Saturday. And I said, well, I'm having problems right now because Social Security like cut my shit off in half, dude. You know, with no notification, no nothing. And I'll never forget the guy. He said, well, we sent you notification. This is the only fucking shit y'all sent me, man. Here's the 2 letters you fucking sent me, dude. So don't tell me that shit. Well, we don't make mistakes. Motherfucker, you a human being. You make a mistake, man. You just don't want to admit your mistakes. You know, that's the bottom line, you know. And like, I wear glasses. So they put on my file, I don't wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses for years. And they put on my files, I don't wear glasses. I wear glasses and contacts. They put on my files, I don't wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses for years, contacts for years. So how the fuck I don't wear glasses? How the fuck my vision is not bad? And I've been fighting with that. And not one person ever called me back to clear these records up. Not one fucking person from the Social Security office, you know? And it's fucking insane, dude. It's fucking insane, you know? And the guy, he goes like, well, I don't know what to say. So, but anyway, I said, well, look, they slashed my shit in half. I'm going to go to this place. And they told me I need this from you, you know? And so I didn't know that she left a message because for some reason, the internet over here has been bad for the past couple of days, you know? And so then I go to my phone. I left her a message yesterday, and she left a voicemail stating, no, all you need is your lease. I said, oh, okay. So I took my lease down there. They asked me, how much is your rent? $9.55 is my rent for the dwelling. My rent is $9.55. Only $9.55. But I pay $9.85 for the garage. No, garage is not included because that's not rent. You know, that's not a dwelling. You have to pay rent. What is the dwelling? Where you sleep at? How much is your rent? Right there on my contract. $9.55. That's what it says. $9.55 is my rent. Okay. So they helped me with that there. I didn't have no fucking money. They slapped my shit so bad, man. I don't know what the fuck to do now, man. I don't know what the fuck to do, man. It sucks, man. You know, don't get me wrong. The place is nice, you know. It's quiet. It's really nice, you know. I think I got upset one time from the people upstairs because every day banging and the dog, you hear the dog and all of that shit, and you hear her going off on her man for some reason or yelling at her, you know, shut the fucking kid up and, you know, all of that crazy shit you hear, man. But that's none of my business, you know. But I don't care. I've been through hell and back, man. The noise don't fucking bother. I wouldn't give a fuck if cars blew up outside. It's none of my fucking business, man. It's none of my fucking business what happens to other people no more, man. I don't care no more. I'm not no more Mr. Nice Guy and I'm going to take it easy and all of this and all of that. I'm going to let shit slide. No, I'm a Libra. And if anybody understands about Libra men, us real men, and Libra women, real women, we don't tolerate cheaters, man. We don't tolerate this bullshit that you do up against. Because once you come at us, we come back at you harder without you even knowing. You see? Don't fuck with a Libra. You don't want a Libra to be your enemy. You do not want a Libra to be. We are the sweetest people on the face of this earth, man. We're the most sweetest people on we don't cheat. We straight up forward with you. Point blank, man. Point blank. But don't play us like suckers, man, because we sit back and we observe, we listen, we feel, we know when you're bullshit and everything else, man. You know, and people just don't understand, man. I don't believe in that bullshit they say karma, because if that was true, every one of these motherfuckers would have been hit with it a long time ago for the dirt, the hate that they have done to me. They would have been hit with this shit a long time ago, karma, you know. But it's going to take its course, I see, you know, because that's the third call I got from somebody in this field about what they're about to do to people, man. And they want me to and I said, yeah, I'll do a sworn affidavit. You know, I'll do a sworn affidavit. I got all of the proof and everything else, man. And it's funny because they go, yeah, we saw the video, man, and you 1000% right, man. That's why we investigating this person and that person and everything. And I'm like, well, yeah. But the guy goes, well, how did you know? We're really curious about something, sir. And we couldn't find nothing about you, man, within the past 60 years. Where are you originally from, man? You know, I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't call myself a human being. I'm just here. I'm just fucking here, dude. I'm just here, and I'm tired of the corruption and everything else. I'm trying to avoid the question, you know. But he asked it again, and I said, ask me all this stuff about the military and stuff and everything. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, all I know about the military is that in military records in New York City was destroyed twice. Everyone that was in the military branches, you know, the military records were destroyed twice, man. And I had to contact the Pentagon, you know, to find out what the hell is going on. And they sent me a letter back, and all military records back then were destroyed, completely destroyed by fire. One fired, and they moved records to another place. They housed them somewhere else, and the following years burnt down, and the following years burnt. It's like they was trying to wipe out all traces of the wars back then, man. You know, but all military records was destroyed. All military records were destroyed. You know, that's all I know about that. And then he goes, you know, it's kind of, we investigated you, sir. You know, I said, you got the right to investigate me if you want to, you know. It's like, you know, after I get your full name, I'm going to do the same fucking thing. And I told him straight out, man, you know. And he goes, well, it's kind of amazing because you said something that caught a lot of attention, people's attention, you know. And the main question is why these people are not in jail. Not you, them, you know, because they can't figure it out neither. They cannot figure. I don't give a fuck if your daddy was a governor, mayor, president. I don't give a fuck. Nobody's above the fucking laws, man. But I got three interviews with different people for sworn testimony. And it's funny, man. People some heads about to roll, dude. Like one individual I know for sure is committing fraud, tax fraud, and this motherfucker works for the state. It's amazing how if you really look into people, you know, and know your resources, man, it's amazing the shit you find. These people judging us, and they worse than us. That's the most fucking terrifying thing in the world, man. These people judging us, but they worse than us. I've seen judges get away with sexual assault, child molestation, rape, running their courthouses as pimps, drug traffickers, the works, man, the works. And they do worse than the citizens do because they think because they got that robe on, they're a judge or pig, cop, sheriff, deputy, they're above the laws. Nobody's above the laws. Not even Trump's punk ass is above the laws. You see, and it's funny that I even brought that up because I got something to show your asses, dude. And this is kind of funny and amazing too. because nobody believed me. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. We did have a video of this guy back then. And what it was that Trump brags. See, Trump had back then, he was running a beauty competition. You know, he owned it, this bullshit beauty competition thing, right? Back then. And he got busted several times, man. Trump got really busted several times because he was turning around fucking with those women and sexually assaulting those women. And people wanted him charged. And he wasn't even president then. Okay, that motherfucker wasn't even president then. So we ended up finding the video. Yeah, we ended up finding the video. I told my buddy, send it to me, man.
You got sex offenders on hold that he keep on a monthly allowance. And child should never be compromised. Me keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him.
I go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stayed there with no clue, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Man was sick.
If my uncle weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick. Yeah.
Niles is saying, he said, you remind me of my daughter.
To anybody that embody the love for the kids, keep the family away.
Donald Trump making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
Donald Trump said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Meet the Trumps.
Clapper.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that. But it's true.
He got sex offenders on hold that he keep on a monthly allowance. And child should never be compromised. Me keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him.
I go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stayed there with no clue, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Man was sick.
If my uncle weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick. Yeah.
Niles is saying, he said, you remind me of my daughter.
To anybody that embody the love for the kids, keep the family away.
Donald Trump making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
Donald Trump said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Meet the Trumps.
Now,
Clapper.
that's a predator. That's a sexual predator. And now one part of the government, Homeland Security, FBI, CIA, JFV, whatever the fuck, would do anything to that man. Nobody's that fucking powerful, dude. No human being on the face of this earth is that powerful. The ones that not doing nothing is the same exact ones that are doing the same exact fucking thing that Trump's doing. Like little kids, little boys, little girls. They are sex predators. You got the stupidest, hateful people that voted for this idiot because they do the same exact thing. They love their sex predator president, a rapist, a child molestator, child sex trafficking. You heard what he said. He is. When that lady said, yeah, you a sex predator. Yes, I am. You heard that. He like, if what's her name is not his daughter, he'd be out with her, sleeping with her. And then you see little girls, 16, 17 years old, sitting on his lap, him trying to kiss. Y'all can't say a fucking thing. You so-called Trump lovers can't say a motherfucking thing when your kids, your woman, your boyfriend, your man, your child gets raped. Y'all can't say a goddamn thing because we got a sex predator as a president of this country. A sex predator that's supposed to be behind bars for the rest of his life or executed, like it says in the Constitution. Anyone that commits treason against the Constitution and the people, the penalty for treason is death. Is death. And it's so ironic. Save the children. Save the children for what? So you can sleep with them? So you can rape them? So you can molest them? I'll say it again. I'll say it again. This generation is the stupidest generation of mankind. The hateful generation of mankind. Period. No president, no Republican, no Democrat, no senator, no governor, no mayor. None has the authority or the powers to pass any laws whatsoever. The only one that can pass a law is the people and Congress. Listen carefully. We, the people and Congress. That's it. Presidents do not have the authority or the power to pass anything, write any laws whatsoever, because the Constitution does not give them that whatsoever. He doesn't even have the powers to call the military on American soil against Americans or the National Guards against Americans. His executive orders are just bullshit. Don't mean a fucking thing. Everything this fucker did was behind retaliation, hate. Everything this rapist has done that you vote for president. Retaliation, hate. Period. Discrimination, treason, conspiracy, genocide, and murder, and sexual assault, sex trafficking. Everything he did is against the Constitution and against the laws. This motherfucker's supposed to be hanging, like it says in the Constitution, for his treason. The penalty is death, is what he's supposed to be getting right now, and everyone with him. Everyone with him, you know. And he has violated the Constitution, the oath of office, every fucking time he opens up his fucking mouth. And I remember, and I asked my buddy, I said, man, do you remember that interview that Trump did back home in New York, man, when his pageants was going on? And he said, well, when they getting dressed and they naked, I got the right to be back there to observe the merchandise, to look at the merchandise. If that's not a sex predator, man, and those girls back then were 17 and 18 years old, man. Yeah, that was in the pageants. Yeah, and then he lost that. There were 17, 16, and 17-year-old girls and 18-year-old girls, man. Yes, yes. And if they can go after this man for something like that, they can go after Trump. No ifs and no buts. No ifs and no fucking buts. If they could go after this person for the same thing, they can go after Trump. They're supposed to be locking Trump's ass up. Military's supposed to be taking him into custody, but stripping his ass and everything else, probing in his asshole and everything. That's what they're supposed to be doing to Trump's ass, man. They're supposed to be taking that motherfucker into custody, held for trial, found guilty by the orders and the laws of the Constitution for treason, for each crime that he's committed, and put to death, like it says in the Constitution. That's what that's supposed to be happening to Trump right now. You know, Trump ain't supposed to be flying to no other country because he's a convicted sex felon. Okay, he's a convicted sex felon. He ain't supposed to be in no other country. Those countries are not supposed to allow him in their country. Don't give a fuck he the president. That don't mean a fucking thing. He ain't supposed to be in these other people's countries, man. Under no circumstances. Because now those countries cannot deny Canada, France, Israel, any other country. No country can deny no citizen with a sex felony crime to go into their country. None. Because you see, they got the right to be in that country. Because you allowed this sex predator in your country. You allowed a sex predator in your country, a convicted sex predator in your country. You can't stop other sex predators from going to your country, man. Under no circumstances. Under no circumstances, man. You can't lock this fucker up here for sex crimes, but yet you let this motherfucker, you find him guilty, but he did no time in prison for his crimes. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. The law says, the Constitution says, all men are created equal. All men are created equal. All men are created equal. All women are created equal. No one is above the fucking laws, man. No one is above the laws. No one is above the laws, man. No fucking body is above the laws, man. No one. You know, and it's bad that this is the mentality of the so-called this new generation. Even with the house niggas and house bitches, man. They're amazing, man. I love me some Trump. Well, go with Trump, motherfucker. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out the neighborhood. First of all, you better look in the mirror. That's number one. Because, boy, you're black. You ain't white. Your ancestors are turning over in their graves. Get your ass out of this country. You take your ass with those racist, rapist motherfuckers, man. You know, anybody that goes against the laws that helps a rapist, they're doing the same exact thing. They are doing the same exact thing. So those judges that played this game, because all it was a game to society, to the public. That's all it was a game. Really, that's all it was a game. They played a game and they said, well, he got this on me, he got that on me, you know, and plus I love these kids, you know. I go overseas to mess with these boys and these girls, so we're gonna find him guilty, but no prison time, because we're gonna use the excuse that a president has immunity. No, a president does not have immunity. Original Constitution, case 1802. No president, no vice president, no government officials have immunity. Fuck what the United States Superior Court ruled. That don't mean a fucking thing. The Constitution is the Constitution. No president has immunity from execution or arrest. No president, no sitting president, no past president has immunity from prosecution. None. That's all made up bullshit. They didn't start this immunity bullshit until back in the late 30s, and then they started bringing it back again in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, because pigs, cops, sheriff, deputies were getting away with killing blacks and Puerto Ricans in New York. So what was this thing here? Well, we'll say we give them immunity for murder. So we got the same right to have immunity for killing them. You know, like this one guy, his son got killed by a police officer, and he killed that fucking family too. He got that right. Eye for an eye. That's what this says. An eye for an eye. Because you kill anyone in my family, I got the right to kill you. I have that right. Fuck your laws. I got that constitutional right to take your life. You know, I have that right. There's no issue, no buts about it. So he ain't even supposed to have been arrested. He ain't even supposed to be found guilty. But because he's black, you see, you know, I'm so tired of these racist motherfuckers, man. I hate racist fucking people, man. I hate them with passion, dude. I hate racist people, man. And we got so much racist shit, and it has to stop, man. This racist shit has to fucking come to an end. And we got to start all the way up from the top. All the way up from the top. From every fucking government employee, president, vice president, we got to come all the way down, man. You know, and stop applauding and be happy because some black person got into an office, because they do not work for no blacks. They work for themselves. They do not give a fuck about you. And that's the truth. It's amazing how stupid society really is. But you better understand something, though, because you white people haters, get rid of your refrigerators. Get rid of your heaters. Get rid of your cell telephones. You hate blacks so much, get rid of your stoves. Get rid of all that shit. Your hair dryers and all that shit, because black people invented that stuff. White people has never invented any fucking thing. Nothing. All their plans were taken by white people. By white people. White people have never invented a goddamn thing, man. Your history is all lies. The United States has never won no fucking war. The United States has never been the powerful country in the world or the richest country in the world. The United States was built, created by slavery, hate, rape, genocide, murder. That's what this country was built on. That's what this country was built on. Threats. That's what this country was built on. That's what this country was built on. Wake up, people. Wait, I gotta take my med. Wake up, man. I don't feel good. I gotta throw up, man. Wake up, people. But to let you know, dwelling that you pay rent at, that's rent. Electric bill, water bill, whatever, has nothing to do with your rent whatsoever. That has nothing to do with your rent. I contacted the IRS because it was funny. He says, well, can I put, because I pay for the garage too, and electric, and they trying to force me to pay insurance. And so when he goes, well, how much are you paying altogether? $996. He says, nah, what does your rent say? How much does it, on your lease, it says rent paid every month. What does it say there? How much? $995. That's the only thing that you can file, and that is the only thing, because the IRS do not give a damn that you renting out in the garage or you paying renter's insurance. That has nothing to do with your rent that you pay every month. That has nothing to do with it whatsoever. They can't even take you to court and say you back paid on rent or anything. That electric bills and it's up to you whether you want renter's insurance, not them. That comes from the IRS. And they sending me a letter about it too. That comes straight from the IRS, man. So no, they do not. What it says that your rent is what you pay. That's rent for your dwelling. Not no garage, not no renter's insurance, not no water bill, not no electric bill. Your rent for the dwelling. That's what it is, and that's what the law states. And he's the one that even put me to. The guy says, no, you look up the laws in Minnesota under landlord-tenants rights, and you'll see what it says. I got it up on my screen right now. And what it says is this here, rent. The only way a conviction can even proceed is if rent is late 30 days. They have to give you a 14-day notice, blase, blase, then start the procedures. Rent. If your rent is $9.55 a month, that's what they got to show the courts. Rent. Not no utility bills, not no water bill, not no garage bill, not no renter's insurance bill. Rent. Your dwelling. Rent. Period. Rent. And to be honest, sir, you do not have to, by any laws, have renter's insurance because of the fact that right there we consider, if any company tries to force a person to have renter's insurance, we consider that as extortion. So wait a minute, the IRS, oh, I'm reporting these motherfuckers because I reported them. I'm not going to lie about it. I said, yeah, because they got a recording where I had to say, never written nothing down about it, but a recording where I had to say, well, I give them permission to do an insurance under my social security number and stuff. And I said, under duress. And she kept making me try to say it without saying under duress. They forcing me to do this, you know? And he goes, when? Because we can find that. I gave him the date and the time it was done, you know? And I also got it on a recording of it on my phone, you know? And so he goes, holy shit. And what company do you, is your management company? And I gave it to him. And he goes, wait a minute, could you say that again, please? So I gave it to him. Okay, all right. Hey, you have a nice day, man. And thank you very much, man. And okay. And then he goes, so he says, that says, wait a minute. So they're making you pay $9.96. Yes, sir. But that's not your rent. No, sir. My rent is what she brought to my attention. Your rent is $9.55. That's what it says. Yes, sir. $9.55. Matter of fact, I also sent a copy of that to the IRS. It's $9.55. Okay. And had to get half of that up. I had to give out $200 and something $240 to hold $40 for something else, and I think it was like $60 or $80 for some bullshit that they charged me, which now I'm finding out everything that they charged me was against the law, against the fucking law on the landlord tenants rights and application stuff, all against the law. They committed extortion and yeah, found all that shit out, man. And it's so amazing, you know. I just gotta calm down, man. I just stop letting this shit eat me up, man. But when I get mad, man. I get to the point where keep fucking with me, man. Keep fucking with me. Keep like this hospital. I got sick, man, and I don't even remember what happened. But it's weird because when my blood pressure is so high, it's hard for me to remember any fucking thing, man. It's like I lose shit, man. Like I can't remember shit, and it bothers me a lot, you know. And but I was sick, and I was at this hospital. Oh, goddamn, most disrespectful fucking nurses at that goddamn hospital. St. Cloud, whatever the hell I pronounce it. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm in Hutchinson when I was in the hospital. I don't know why, but I kept thinking I was in Hutchinson. I went to see my doctor. Y'all not going to do shit to me, you know. And find out it was in a St. Cloud hospital. And the fucking people were so disrespectful, man. God damn, those nurses there, man, they need to shut that fucking hospital down, put a parking lot there, dude. There are no way in hell as a hospital I go to, you know, those nurses there, they don't give a fuck what you are, who you are. They take good care of you. Leave these nurses and these doctors the fuck alone, man. Without those nurses, man, you'd be dead. There's no ifs and no buts. Those nurses are the ones that keep your ass alive. Doctors don't know shit. Let's get that cleared right now. Doctors don't know shit about nothing, okay, but medicine. That's it. Those nurses runs those hospitals, man. Those nurses are heroes, okay? Some of those nurses, let me get that clear now. Where I'm at, those nurses are fucking heroes, man. They take good care of us. Those nurses, where I go to, Hutchinson Health, whatever you call it, in Hutchinson, those nurses are heroes. Okay? Those nurses save lives, not the doctors. The doctors only know shit about medicine. That's it. But those nurses are the ones that keep you hooked up to all of this shit and check on you and do all of that. Those nurses are heroes, man. Because without a nurse, you'd be a dead motherfucker, man. I tilt my hat to those nurses, man. Those nurses are heroes, man. Y'all need to leave these nurses and these doctors the fuck alone. I like my doctor. I get on his ass. He get on me sometimes. But he a good doctor, though, you know. But only if he listens sometimes, man, you know. And it's like he think I want medicine. Dude, I don't use drugs. I don't fucking drink. I don't want no medicine. I hate medicine. I hate even taking my blood pressure medication. I even hate taking Tylenol. You know, I hate drugs. I don't use drugs. I don't drink. I'm not seeing you by I want to know why this happens to me all the fucking time. I don't remember shit when my blood pressure is so high. It's like I can't remember. Then my eyes get fucking like I can't see. You know, I want to know what the fuck is going on with me. And ever since I came out here, that's what's been happening to me. I go outside and it's hard to breathe. I need to know what the fuck is going on. If y'all poisoning me or what, man. This is what I need to know. Why my body shuts down like this since I've been out here. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Is it the environment? Is it the climate? Is it the air? What the fuck is it, you know? What the fuck is it? It's weird, you know? But these nurses are the ones are heroes. The people are heroes that stayed up open for you idiots during COVID. Those are heroes that had their stores still running. Those people are heroes from the gas stations to Quick Trip to the nurses to the doctors. Those people are heroes. Those people jeopardize their lives to serve you. And you go off on them. You some stupid motherfuckers, man. Every one of you that gets mad because your order was wrong or something, step back. Step back. Take a deep breath. Step back. Say, excuse me, sir, this order came out wrong. Is it possible that you can fix it for me? And you'll see the results you'll get. Hey, what did you order, sir? I ordered with no cheese. All right, I'll take care of this for you right now, sir. Thank you very much. To get respect, you got to show respect. Because these people don't got to respect you, man. Understand that now. To get respect, you got to show respect. You know? To get respect, you got to show respect. Leave these fucking people alone. Especially, oh man, especially these stewardesses, man. I understand some of them could just don't like you because of the way you look and all of that. That's understandable. But take a deep breath, step back, and just deal with it, you know? Some of them are outrageous. I'm not going to lie about it. Some stewardesses are outrageous, man. But yet you on that plane. And you know the fucked up thing about it, man, is that people don't understand something. These motherfuckers can stop you from flying. Just because you argue with a stewardess or a pilot, man. You know, these fuckers can stop you from flying. Leave these stewardesses the fuck alone. They doing their job, man. And those pilots is getting you somewhere safe, man. Okay? And those are heroes, man. You know, I was watching this thing on the news where all the stewardess asked this lady to please put your mask on during that pandemic shit. All the stewardess asked was the lady to put a mask on. And she went full berserk. Fuck it, just put the mask on. It's hard for me to breathe, but I still kept my mask on. I didn't give a fuck about other people, man. Even when I got a cold and I go see the doctor goes, why you got the mask? Because I got a cold. I'm not going to spread my cold out to y'all people, man. That's fucking rude, dude. You know? And all she asked this lady was put the mask on, and she made a big case for herself. You know? Now she can't fly. She hit the stewardess. Now you got a fucking federal case, man. These stewardesses is trying to do their job. They don't get, it's bad enough that the airlines pay them shit. Okay, that's bad enough. It's bad enough they don't get paid the good money that they're supposed to get paid for the shit that they got to deal with you idiots. Okay, them stewardesses are supposed to be billionaires right now because they got to deal with you fucking idiots on their plane. That ain't your plane. Get them stewardesses respect. Without those pilots, your ass ain't going nowhere. But as soon as you act stupid against them stewardesses, they got the right to kick your ass off the plane, man. They got that fucking right, man. They got that right. Show respect to these people, man. To these nurses, these doctors. Without these people, you'd be no fucking where, dude. No fucking... Man, when I drive from California to here, it takes me 14 days. Because I can't stand that long drive, you know? And guy was telling me, man, it only takes me about a couple of hours, man. Well, fuck you, dude. I can't take that long thing, man. I can't sit that long, man. My leg is straight, dude. You know, I wear different legs, man. You got your original legs on, man. I can't do it, man. I gotta stop at a certain time and stuff and things, man. And I adjust myself, man, and stuff. And it's different than me and you, dude. It's really different, you know. But y'all got to start, and like even with some of these, you know, some of these police officers, you know. Now I can't stand the ones that are corrupt. I hate all corrupt people, man. I hate all corrupt pigs, cops, sheriffs, deputies, judges, prosecutors. I hate all corrupt motherfuckers, man, and liars. You know, I hate them. But you got some officers, man, that do not play that bullshit of hate and racism. You got some good officers out there, man. You have some beautiful officers out there. They're not there to fuck with you or nothing. If you did this, you did it. Just admit to it, you know? But just show respect to them too, man. You got some that I can't stand some of them because they fucking liars, you know? But some just want to do their job and go home, man. You know, to their family, you know? But come on, man. People need to fucking wake up and start acting right, dude. You know? But some need to be in prison. Some pigs, cops, sheriff, deputies, and judges and DAs need to be in prison for the crimes that they have committed, man. For the crimes that they have committed, you know? And I saw one judge that happened last year. I think it was out of Wisconsin. She got busted for 26 misconducts, and she went to jail also for perjury and stuff like that. Then there was another judge, a black judge, I think out of Texas somewhere. I saw that where she killed her boyfriend because he wanted to leave her. Shot that man. Wow. And she just got sentenced to life. That's where she belonged, man. That's where the fuck she belonged, you know? And so you people got to understand, man, these nurses, man, where I go to, not that other place, some other place, some nurses were some disrespectful motherfuckers, man, you know? And I remember the guy was taking me to somewhere for, because I hit my head and I had this pain in my head on this side near my temple. It was hurting real bad and it was swollen and stuff. And I hit my head on something. They said I fell down, whatever. I hit my head on that, and which I don't understand why that was in that Social Security office. So they're responsible for the damages right there. Fuck that, you know. But anyway, so I remember they was taking me to the X-ray, and there was this guy, man, with this girl, and they both of them worked there, I guess. Yeah, because they both had uniforms on, man, right? And so he said something to her, and she didn't like it, you know. And something happened, and then this other person got involved. Says, "Look, this is not a place for this bullshit. This is a hospital, you know." So she had to separate them both and stuff, man. It was kind of crazy, man. And then the nurse was so nasty to me, man. I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" I asked a fucking question. Don't tell me to shut up. Who the fuck are you, man? You know, some nasty motherfuckers at that hospital, man. Very disrespectful motherfuckers at that hospital, dude. I was never treated like that. At Apple Valley. My doctor there was an awesome doctor. You know, she was very awesome, my doctor there. And my doctor here is cool. You know, he ain't that awesome, but he's cool. you know. But the nurses here, they are fucking awesome, you know. I've been in the emergency room, man. Blood pressure 170, 169, and stuff like. I've been in the emergency, and those emergency nurses are fucking heroes, man. Those emergency nurses are fucking heroes at this hospital I go to. I honor those nurses, man. I tip my hat to those nurses, man. They are heroes. They are fucking heroes, man. You know, but they Draculas over there, though. I'm terrified of needles, man. They gotta hold me down and all this shit just to get blood. I'm terrified of needles, man. I'm very terrified of needles. I ain't gonna lie about it, man. And they fucking, you got Dracula at the clinic there, man. And it's always this woman got coming. Here's Dracula, Count Dracula's sister, you know. And it's crazy though, man. But I tilt my hat to those nurses and those doctors, man. You know, they kept your asses alive, man. They keep us alive, you know. Without them, we all be dead. And that's the bottom line. Without these nurses and doctors, man. See, the nurses are more powerful than those doctors. I'm telling you straight out, because those nurses know more to shit than them doctors do. Because some of them doctors are some stupid motherfuckers, man. You know, some of those doctors are stupid. Like this one doctor tried to give me penicillin. Dude, I'm allergic to penicillin. I'm fucking allergic to penicillin, so you're trying to kill me. It's fucking crazy, dude. But Hutchinson Clinic, I think it's called. Health Man or whatever it is across the street that I go to, man. That's why I moved here, because it's so close to the hospital. In case I get sick, I don't got too far to go, you know, because it took you an hour and a half from Gibbons to the hospital, you know. And if it's windy, then too much wind, they got those arms down. Too much snow, they got those arms down on 19, you know, which is kind of funny. But yeah, peace out, man. Just start respecting these nurses and those stewardesses, man, and some of those cops, man, you know, and that's the bottom line, you see. But I'll say this, you know, when you got a true judge that goes by the oath that they took, this is how you know. Wait a minute. He said this and you locked him up for it. Wait a minute. He crossed the street and you locked him. Oh, hell no. Case dismissed. Throw that shit out, man, you know. He didn't violate no laws, man. You know, there was no probable cause and stuff like that. You know, that's what gets me pissed off about this judge. If he would have saw the video, he would have seen. I'm coming after you what the law says and the Constitution gives me the right to do. I'm coming after you what the law and the Constitution says I got the right to do. That's what I'm coming after you with. There ain't no threat. There ain't no threat at all whatsoever. I'm telling you, you're getting sued, man. I was telling you charges will be filed against your ass, man. You know, that's what it says. And I meant that, you know. And peace out, man. I don't feel too good. I've been getting sick a lot lately. I need a woman to keep me in check, man. And let's get one thing clear before I go. All this shit, we don't need a woman, that's a bunch of bullshit, man. I was the happiest man in the world when I was married. I was the happiest man in the world, you know, when I was married. I really enjoy marriage, you know. But sometimes we need that person there to keep us in check. There's no ifs and no buts about it, man. You know. And that comes from a real man. Sometimes we need that person there. So I ain't got nobody to talk to. I don't know nobody. You know. I don't know. I don't got no family. I don't know nobody. If I died right now, who the fuck would care, man? You know? So that's what's scary more than anything. I don't got no kids. I wish I did. I don't have no kids to carry on my last name. You know? But it's scary. Somebody said, what did you do for the holiday? What holiday? I didn't even know there was a holiday. Easter or something. I said, nothing. I didn't even know it was there, man. You know? I don't do nothing no more. I don't celebrate no holidays, you know? My ex did, you know? Always made her, always cooked for her and stuff like that, and made lasagna and stuff on the days that she wanted it, you know. My lasagna weighs about 80 pounds, you know. And, no, I don't do shit on holidays no more, man. Make a TV dinner. What did I can't even remember, man. Don't do nothing on holidays, man. Oh, this is the crazy shit. I gotta say this, man. Okay. They talk so much about kids drinking alcohol, right? I saw this on the news. But yet, they got these people that delivers food or whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it because I'm not lazy. I'll take my ass to the store. Fuck that, you know? So these people delivers food and these people deliver alcohol. And I'm like, wait a minute, those are kids in that place there. Yeah. And these motherfuckers, so you can't say shit about your kid getting drunk and shit, man. Y'all people need to stop letting the government run your kids and start whipping those kids' asses, man. Okay? Start whipping those kids' asses when they get out of line. That's why they got some badass kids out there right now, man. Stop letting the government run your kids. Whip that ass. You know? There should be there shouldn't be no law should be involved in you whooping your kid's ass. Point blank. You know? But yeah, I saw these people delivering alcohol. And these people wasn't even in their 20s. Wasn't even in their 20s, man. So you can live. I never knew that you can order alcohol to be delivered to you. I'm talking about beer and whatever other alcohols. I don't know nothing about alcohol. That's what I'm talking about. I've seen fucking cars delivering that shit, dude. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch? So I asked it somebody. I said, so you mean to tell me they also deliver alcohol? Yep. They don't even ask, which I don't understand how they do that and how they getting away with that. But yes, they order alcohol and the driver picks up the alcohol after the person pays for it, and they deliver it. They even deliver it to kids, man. And the matter of fact, somebody was telling me, homeboy was telling me, says, yeah, they delivered it to my house. My mom was pissed because my brother, 13 years old, man, he had alcohol delivered to the house. Dad whipped his ass, man. You know, they couldn't believe it, man. And mom was pissed, man, and shit, you know. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, dude. So these people order not only food, but they order alcohol to be delivered to their house. Wow. That reminds me of moonshine. That's the way when you get the moonshine, that's the way moonshine used to be. You know? Peace out, people. Wake up. It's time to fight back, man. Time to put this motherfucker in prison and hold him accountable for his crimes. That felony Trump. Y'all love your rapists and child molesters, sex traffickers. Y'all love those people, man. Y'all put those people in office. Y'all can't say a damn thing. Peace out. Hello? Speaking.